we're going to turn our attention to Iran because it is enriching uranium levels that breach the 2015 nuclear agreement. President Trump responded with a warning for Iran amid the rising tension between our two countries. Joining us from Washington, D.C., Yahoo Finance's Jessica Smith. What is the president saying?
Well, the president is issuing that warning, saying Iran can never get a nuclear weapon. This comes as Iran did announce it is ramping up uranium enrichment, breaking that 2015 agreement. Now, the UN's nuclear watchdog still has to verify this, but this move is inching closer. It moves Iran closer to levels that they would need for a nuclear weapon, but it's still very, very short of that level. And Iran says that the increase is purely rooted in economic priorities. Basically, Iran argues it can do this because the U.S. pulled out of that 2015 nuclear agreement. Of course, President Trump sees things differently. He said that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. He said the country is doing very bad things. Here's what he told reporters over the weekend.
Iran better be careful, because you enrich for one reason. And I won't tell you what that reason is, but it's no good. They better be careful.
President Trump also slammed the Obama-era nuclear agreement over the weekend when talking to reporters, saying that if he were to come up with a deal with Iran, then it would be much longer lasting. It would make sure that the country never had a nuclear weapon. But at this point, it's not clear. It doesn't look like Iran is willing to come to the table and negotiate on this after the president pulled out of that 2015 deal. But this comes, as you mentioned, amid all of these rising tensions. We had the drone being shot down. We had tanker attacks. So this is something that lawmakers are going to be keeping a close eye on once they get back to Washington this week.
Jess, thank you very much. To the president's point, Iran could buy the fuel it needs, whether it's for commercial nuclear reactors to generate electricity or for research. It can buy that on the international market. It doesn't need to enrich. So doesn't the president have some, I don't know what the word is here, but some validity when he says they don't need to do this unless they are intending to build a nuke?
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely about building a nuclear weapon. And Iran is just testing the waters. They actually put a 60-day ultimatum for the European countries that also signed that nuclear deal that the U.S. pulled out of last year, saying give us, they gave them 60 days to help them with the sanctions when it comes to oil. And it's like, if you help us with the sanctions, we won't enrich our uranium. And it's like, well, you know what? They're doing the best they can, but Iran is definitely going to go forward with their ambitions.
Well, you have to wonder, though, to take a step back, are the ambitions, nuclear ambitions, for the sake of nuclear ambitions, or is it merely as a lever to try to get some of those sanctions removed because economically the country is hurting? That appears to be what's going on. Of course, this only happening because the deal was rejected by this administration.
Yeah,
right?
I think what their ambitions are incredibly unclear, but I think what you talked about at the top of the show is very important. Are companies, are global companies prepared for a world with even higher oil prices because of these rising geopolitical risks? And I don't think they are.
Well, oil's not really, can we pull up oil right now? It's not skyrocketing. I mean, people are worried.
It's about 1% today, I think.
Yeah, it's up, 0.75%. But you're talking about $100 barrel oil.
Well, 75.
Okay.
I said,
well, that's what the Saudis want. Saudis want it between 75 and 100.
Yeah, it's just another thing that this market, which is obsessed with Fed rate cuts, is not taking into account.